I'm Kevin Casey. I'm a professional mixed martial arts fighter. And right now what I'm about to do is issue a warning out to all other competitors.
I don't want overs. I just expect them to happen.
Fatty's gonna fatty is real.
He is terrible!
We gotta know how many wieners are going down these dudes' throats.
I'm gonna go quick because I don't give a fuck about anything that's gonna happen on Saturday.
Hello, boys! It's the end of July. We're back for the MMA Analysis. We got, we're recording during the Contender Series. Just so you guys are synced up if you're interested in kind of following along. We're just at the start of round 3 of the first bout, and it's oh man, guys, what is with this Gumby guy? Wes, talk to me. Like this guy, this 18-year-old, he's like Gumby, like literally Gumby, like so long and lanky and goofy.
Going in, I would have swore nothing over 3 inches. But after watching 2 rounds of this kid, I'm saying he's pushing 9.5. I'm gonna keep him under 10 inches, but you see the size of that cup? That ain't no 3 inches inside that cup, dude. That thing would just be moving all around. Yeah. Dude, fun fight though, man. How good is like the Contender Series, man? Like, I'd almost like y'all can stop giving me them what y'all gave me Sunday and made me sit through for 15 hours.
Yeah, well,
and give me these every week and cut all that bullshit out, like straight up.
This Gumby guy is hilarious. He reminds me of me. He's just lanky as fuck, not an ounce of muscle on his body.
Not a clue. Not a piece of muscle. Does he even have any facial hair?
No, he's 18.
He can't grow it.
He's just sprouting downstairs, never mind his face.
I'm surprised he even has armpit hair. I'm looking, I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm surprised he's got to that point in his life.
He's got a fucking 10-inch piece bald. Like, straight up.
He was getting smoked in the first.
He's got the Das Boot of cups, though. The thing is huge.
He uses that to his advantage when he's trying to armbar fools. Get some more
this
leverage.
Guy got pieced
right
up.
Right the chin, start choking.
He got pieced up so badly in the first round, and he's going to win this fight going away.
He's going to choke this guy out right away.
Let's hope so.
He can scramble his ass off, but he has no strength to hold position whatsoever.
That's the year of 2018's been so weird. We've been introduced to some weird dudes. Like just the last month, July alone, we had Violent Bob Ross, and now we got Gumby. What is going on?
Bob Ross is that guy can fight, man. I like that cat.
It's just some weird cats, though. You know what I mean? Like it looks like it's out of a video game.
This guy is searching for subs, and he just has no strength to pull this shit off.
He might get this one.
He might finally get one.
Look here, this little arm just can't fucking choke a guy. It's not strong enough.
He's literally been under the neck like 5 times already, and he has Shaun's right. He has no strength to like finish off the submission. The guy just like touches his arm and it breaks off. Oh, this is great. He's got a great like a body lock in positioning, but he can't get a submission because he's got no strength.
For 18, man, this kid's got some jiu-jitsu skills, though, man. This is fun to watch.
Is this lightweight?
This is feather. I think these are 145ers.
I think he needs to drop down to 135. Because he does not have the strength to be a featherweight. He's going to knock
out this dude.
Yeah,
this stopped here soon anyway. Fuck, this guy's
people
just
are gonna
laying there now.
Whoever had if you had does not go to decision in this fight, you are going to be pissed if this does not get stopped, considering the first round and the 11,000. Oh, he's got it. That has to be it. Come on.
No, he doesn't.
He fucking didn't have the hooks in. Oh, this is bad, man.
He might get a knock. He's got a better.
He's using his cup. He's trying to choke him out with his cup. That's a high mount right there. Jeez.
You can just punch the fucking dude, man. Punch him. If he would punch, he's...
That guy is giving up. Like, are they not just gonna fucking stop this?
Stop the fucking fight, you fucking moron.
Wes has got some serious money on does not go to decision. Holy shit. It is seriously gonna go to the fucking bell.
Out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, that's bad. That's a moose. That's a good moose to start the night if he does not. Like, fucking stop it, Herzog. Are you serious? He's not doing anything.
Is that Herzog?
Yeah.
He's been hanging out with Herb and fucking...
We still got time. We still got time.
Like, he's not fighting back. He's literally just laying there. Like,
what is this, a 10?
Did Herzog
for submission for no reason?
Did Herzog go for does he fucking bet the over? Like, what the fuck?
God.
What are you doing? It went to decision.
I'll give the kid that.
He
got balled in the first round too. Got fucking balled.
That's bad refereeing, man. That fighter, I don't care how much he wasn't putting that much offense on him, but the guy he was fighting was putting up zero defense.
He landed uncountable unanswered punches for like 3.5 minutes. Yeah. I don't care how strong they are. That dude was literally just laying there.
Yeah, like he didn't even fighting back. That's brutal. Well, sucks to be anybody who had the fucking finish in that fight, because that is a moose. But that was sure was hell of a lot better than what was on the weekend. That's for damn sure.
That's for sure. And since we kind of got into that fight, I didn't properly introduce, the Canadian Iceman, new Shaun. It looks like the ice is thawed, and you're going to be heading down to Calgary for this weekend's card.
Hell yeah! Got fifth row seats on the floor.
Oh, nice.
Me and Trish gonna try to catch some blood. So it's gonna be a good
Trish
time.
Coming up?
You betcha.
Oh hell yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
taking another trip back up to the
Great White
North.
There it is. Yeah.
Nice. So that's going to be fun. I don't know if we really need a first word this week. I mean, because I really don't want to talk about the welterweight title nonsense, because I really don't have interest in talking about it.
Man,
not at all.
And then you got UFC announcing fights that aren't even signed with to get everybody's hopes up. Fucking Costa.
That's exciting.
Costa versus Romero.
But it's not even signed.
That's the shitty part.
They don't even know if it's happening. Romero had a broken orbital bone that he just got surgery on. Like they're so terrible with that shit anymore. Like, and it's a tactic now. They literally will announce fights on social media and put it out there and get people riled up talking about it, and to get those fighters to pretty much agree to fights that they haven't agreed to already. It's just a tactic that they didn't use back in the day, and it's not good. Not in my opinion.
Get everybody's hopes up for that hell of a fight.
Well, that's
even your strong
I'm excited about for the rest of the year of any fight.
It's a crazy good fight. Holy shit! I don't think it's good marketing wise and going forward, but it's crazy fun to be able to watch it. But I mean, if you really think about it, you're throwing one of your best young prospects in with a guy that's probably gonna beat him.
She's doing this interview, and I'm sorry, she's doing this interview. She just looked down at that cup. I think
that is a fucking hammer, man. Holy shit.
You can't tell me there ain't nothing under 10 inside that goddamn thing.
I don't think there's anything there at all. I think it's just cup. I think it's overcompensation.
That's a goddamn. That's a welcome to That's a Y2K party punch bowl. That motherfucker's got this fucking pants, dude.
That looks like the Bill Goldberg Cup in The Longest Yard, the new one. Oh fuck, man! Just. But yeah, that fight, if it does happen, obviously is amazing. But it's annoying that they're putting that out without it actually signed to get people's hopes up. So I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't know about it too from the standpoint of there's so many other things you could do with Costa right now. And then I think Romero wins that fight more often than not. And then you got a prospect smashed what are you going to give Romero another title shot and he'll miss weight again? It just ain't smart to me. It's a great fight. I think it's going to be fun as hell and shit, but I think I don't think Costa's ready for one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about literally one of the pound for pound best dudes on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? I don't
understand. Just fast tracking him after that last fight, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
And you need new blood there. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But there's some other fun fights you could put Costa in. I mean, hell, you could even give him Gastelum. I mean, that'd have been an awesome.
Yeah, I never expected this fight to go down at this point. I gotta be honest with you. So I think it was more the surprise factor of it all. Because when you don't think about it and then they announce it, it makes it more exciting. Because you're like, oh, this can actually happen. Like, this never even crossed my mind. I mean, so that's cool.
Could you imagine the holes that would be burnt into the canvas during that fight?
Magma.
My God.
I'm surprised the fight's even gonna. I don't think there's a way the fight can even happen. There's not gonna be a canvas to fight on.
Disintegrates. Man, Josh Appelt just screams fucking athleticism, eh?
What about Hughes?
Him too. He's got some nice titties on him.
They both scream fucking welcome to the KKK. Here's your new hood.
I like how they just put up random fucking numbers for their like attributes and stuff like that. Like 1 week it was like athleticism. Oh, I guess these guys are too fat for that, so they're not putting up athleticism.
The NFL linebacker that had a 4.
Yeah,
that's right. Like 7 year professional linebacker made more money than any of these idiots. Who's probably
combined.
More money than any other fighter who's ever been in the heavyweight, who's currently in the heavyweight division of the UFC. Probably in his NFL career. Yeah, he's a 4 athlete. Okay.
like literally on that scale, that dude is like a 10. Like, I mean,
in comparison,
yeah, we're about to minus 2s. Go at it. You know what I'm saying?
Unbelievable. Sunday we had a fight card.
It definitely happened.
It happened. It wasn't very good though. We'll start off with the prelims. So 3 fights on the Fight Pass card. China is starting to get a little momentum. Li Pingguang.
Everywhere.
Decision Damian Stasiak. Darko Stosic beat a quitter in Jeremy Kimball. And most importantly, Manny Bermudez just wiped the floor with Davey Grant, which was the can't miss bet on the card. We'll start with Wes. Thoughts on the Fight Pass portion?
Yeah, I don't think much of China Lamb, but I mean, they got
China. Yeah,
they start to actually have some, today's UFC caliber. They do have some guys that's that caliber coming out. Now I'll give them that. That Kimball is just terrible, man.
And he is retired.
He was leading that fight too, and then just like goes for a takedown and quit.
I think Manny Bermudez is for real, man.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's he's very good, man, in a division that needs some younger up and coming talent, man. Watch out for that kid. I don't think he beat much in Davey Grant, but that was fucking impressive, and he's been impressive in his short stint in the UFC so far. So, he's at the pretty good camp around the right guys and stuff. So, I'm very intrigued going forward with Manny Bermudez.
New Shaun, do you agree with Wes's accolades of the Bermudez, of a better Bermudez?
Yeah, that was impressive. Obviously, it's Davey Grant, but Jesus, he just wiped the floor with them, just destroyed him from the opening bell. That was just absolute domination. It's good to see, and especially at a smaller weight class to be able to do that, pretty impressive. So good to see, and we'll see what he does next.
Fair enough. Televised card, Alexander Rakic exposed Justin Ledet. There's two 30-24 cards. That's something at a 30-25. Featherweight, Nad Narimani defeated Khalid Taha, and I think was a fight that we hope we never have to see again. Bartosz Fabinski definitely showed the flaws in Emil Meek's game, winning a decision in that bout. And then Damir Hadzovic, finally, somebody was able to beat Nick Hein in Germany. It was the Bosnian Hadzovic. Split decision? Wes, thoughts?
Yeah, I was wrong on the Ledet fight. Rakic, he just fought a smart fight. Took it to the mat. Ledet had no answer for that. I really thought it would be more of a kickboxing match. It wasn't. Decent win for Rakic, I guess. Yeah, Nad just kind of beat up on a guy that should be at 135. Still, that was a pretty fun fight. It's actually one of the fights I enjoyed on the card. Mil Meek, I don't think the guy's that good, honestly. I mean, he's big and scary looking, but I just don't think he's that skilled. And then, I thought that Hadzovic win, that, I don't know, man. I bet Hein, so I'm biased as hell, but I thought you could have scored that fight for Hein. It was close though. I mean, I wasn't mad at the decision or anything, but yeah, just another pretty forgettable fight on a very forgettable card.
Yeah, that's a good point. New Shaun.
Yeah,
did you want to forget this or move on?
I don't have much on these fights. I'll just say I am very thankful that I was very selective on this card because there was a lot of bad showings by some guys that were some favorites and thought to be a lot more than what they showed, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Main card. I thought this fight was pretty decent. Nasrat Haqparast defeated Mark Diakiese by decision, 30-20. New Shaun?
Me first?
Yeah, I'll try you first this time.
Yeah, that was a really fun fight. Well, I guess not really fun. I guess we saw just another guy that we thought was something, and he just definitely hasn't improved since he's made it to the UFC in Mark Diakiese. Haqparast showed some good stuff there. I just don't know if he's anything special or if it's more just Diakiese's not what we thought he was.
Wes, what do you think?
Yeah, a lot of what Shaun said. Just Diakiese's just he's got the look and all the athleticism and the length, and just like pretty much if he was to build a perfect prototypical modern day fight, he would look very close to that. I just underperforms, man, constantly. I don't think Nasrat is anything special, man, but that was a very good performance. I like to see, maybe a little bit of step up in the next fight. Maybe we'll know a little more, but I'm not completely sold or anything on him. Diakiese's just, I think he's total underperformer.
Yeah.
Yep. Total underperformer.
Yeah, it's not very, definitely, there's a lot of hype coming in. We thought a lot of him, but he just hasn't. He's just been exposed, for lack of a better term. Danny Roberts definitely luckboxed a bit here against David Zawada, as I think he was the biggest favorite on the card, Roberts.
He was.
Wes, I'll ask you this question, Wes. Is Danny Roberts one of the best fade plans right now in the UFC?
I mean, I don't know if it's one of the best, because you probably should just be fading him anyway. You're gonna get, they're gonna another overseas card like and against some local decent guy, and he's gonna be minus 400 again, and yeah, he's gonna lose to one of these cats eventually.
LOL at him calling out Neil Magny, like that's a good idea. Magny will run it'd be an embarrassment. I hope they make that.
Magny would finish him in a couple of rounds, maybe even the first. Magny would be on top of him, dropping fucking blows.
Literally best cardio in the division versus one of the worst.
Yep.
Yep, that's all you need to know. New Shaun.
Fun fight. Zawada pissed us away in the third. He had it, man.
He did.
I don't know what the hell he was doing. He decided to scramble and try to take him down. I don't know what the hell he was doing. Roberts, I don't know if this is something where he just really, really underestimated this guy and just fell flat. Or, I mean, obviously his cardio is shit, so that is something that you can definitely take away from this fight. I just don't know if he just totally underestimated him and he'll show much better next time. I guess we'll see, but yeah, just not a good look for Roberts. Was that he was on he's beat some guys and he just didn't show up here, so I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I'm with you. Heavyweight fight.
Going back to Twitter from like 30 minutes ago is awesome, dude.
Yeah.
All these people are like, this is child abuse. Kids getting destroyed. And he like goes back and wins that shit.
I know, it's funny stuff. Marcin Tibera is becoming one of the most boring heavyweights in the UFC, I feel.
Yeah, but he
did beat Stefan Struve,
but he wins. Yeah,
he does win.
He cashed that plus 300 decision prop that I bet on him, so I'm not going to complain.
Nice.
Wes, we'll start with you. How far can Tibera go in this division?
Man, I mean, top 5?
Oh,
I mean, it's like
man, come on.
It's so horrible. It's so horrible. I mean, like,
5?
He could beat most of the guys right outside the top 5 by just laying on them and smothering them. I mean, it's very possible. The division is so bad. I don't think he's good at all. I mean, but it's just the division is terrible. I mean, a guy like Greg Hardy comes in and knocks that guy out. You know what I'm saying? But how many of those type of guys do we have in the heavyweight division? You know, I don't think the guy's that good or anything. I mean, I don't think he ever holds a belt or nothing. I don't even really think he's top 5 or anything. I just think the division is just completely a wasteland now. And on any given night, he could fucking wrestle fuck any one of those guys. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. No, I mean, we're talking Curtis Blades. That's
a title contender right there.
That's the top echelon of the division. Now, I mean, you only
top
have
5. He said he's top 5.
Well, I mean, I said he could beat pretty much anybody else. I could see him beating anybody right outside of the top 5. I mean, got Stipe, DC, Blades, Ngannou. I mean, he could absolutely wrestle fuck over him. He could absolutely, I mean, hell, there's not even that many more to name. You know what I'm saying? Like, the division is that bad.
About to go to sleep.
He's right there. I mean, he's just right there. But like you said, he's a boring ass guy. Nobody really wants to see the dude fight. I mean, but he's right outside the top 5. He could beat anything 6 through 10. He could absolutely wrestle hump him for 3 rounds. So, but one of the better bets on that card, I thought I had him with the main event inside the distance at like minus 120, and that was my biggest bet on the entire card on a very shitty betting card. So was happy to get that.
Yeah, it was not a good card. We've been through this. New Shaun, any words of wisdom here?
Struve is beyond terrible.
What about the hole in his face?
That was hot. I was eyeing it up. I felt a twitch.
I will say, I think me and you, we tweeted about it. Like, Struve, like, could have been something. I think a lot of people did, man. That guy could have been something. I don't know what it is. And the hole in the heart, I'm sure didn't help. You know what I'm saying? Stroking out and shit, I'm sure didn't help. But he had some losses before then. But I really thought Struve, when he first came in, was going to be a champion. And then as he went on, he reminds me so much of Simi Schilt, man. Probably the greatest kickboxer of all time. The best heavyweight kickboxer of all time. the guy was unstoppable in kickboxing when he didn't have to worry about getting taken to the mat. There wasn't a guy on the planet that could touch Simi Schilt in kickboxing. I think that Struve would probably be like that in kickboxing. There wouldn't be many guys that could fucking touch him, but yeah, just going off on a tangent. I thought Struve was going to be champ. I was completely fucking wrong.
Yeah. Next fight up. We got 3 fights left on this card. We got I don't even know.
Azatar.
Azatar.
Just call him a piece of shit, because that's what he is.
Being host of Vitor Miranda. In hindsight, I really should have hammered this play. I knew Vitor Miranda was terrible. I shouldn't say he was terrible, but he's just over the hill. Wes,
He won that fight.
how did we miss this? As a consensus. You know what I mean? This should have been like a consensus play against Vitor Miranda, I feel.
Well, see, going in, I thought it was a closer fight. And, I mean, Miranda was he was in it going into the third, right? And then got...
Was he?
Yeah, I mean, it was...
Not according
Not
to
really.
the judges, but...
Yeah, you're right. But, I mean, I thought it could have been 1-1, so it was close.
No, I agree with you.
Then he got reversed or something and got flipped over in the third round when he was on top, and that was it. Then he was on his back for the rest of the round. I mean, I thought it was a close fight going in, but yeah, you're right, Jeff. I mean, he's fucking 40 something years old.
I think he turns 41. Let me see. He turns 40 next March. So he's 39.
I didn't think much of Abu going in either, man. So I thought it was a close fight, but yeah, I mean, Miranda's toast, dude. He's old as hell, and it was a close fight going into the third, though, man. But yeah, you're right. Abu should have, in hindsight, definitely been a bigger player. Man.
And then there was the co-main event. Corey Anderson puts in the best performance of his career.
Ugh.
The best.
Yep.
Got to give him credit where credit's due.
Yep.
He competed for 15 minutes and he beat the brakes off Glover Teixeira. He did. Wes, thoughts?
Yeah, I gotta give it up to him. I bet Glover in this fight. I thought he would catch Corey's chin eventually, and he actually did catch it a couple times, and it held up. There's just sometimes where guys, they start being able to take a punch a little bit better. I don't know what it is. I mean, sometimes it just happens, and I mean, he did in that fight. He took a couple from Glover and was in it, but man, yeah, the performance of his career, man, and it quickly moves him up another shitty division. So we'll see what's next. But yeah, definitely one of his better performances, and I think Glover is still going to be a good tough out for guys like Corey Anderson for another couple years. You know what I'm saying? Like he's still a really good, well-rounded fighter, and you could give guys like Anderson, kind of guys on that fringe, getting up to the top 5. Glover. So yeah, good fight, good performance.
New Shaun.
Anderson's got.
Is Corey Anderson a fight away? Is Corey Anderson a win away from a title shot?
No, because of his style.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Who else is there?
I mean, there's a long list. And it also depends on what the hell they're doing with the title. I mean, let's look at the old fucking rankings, shall we? For old light heavyweight, the dumpster fire that it is.
That's why YOLO should move up and Rocco should move up.
They can fight each other for lightweight title.
I mean, literally, like the division is so without Jones. I mean, without Jones and DC, like what the fuck is there? Gus ain't never gonna fight again. I mean, that dude can't even breathe hard without fucking snapping a chest muscle. I mean,
yeah, that's. I mean, he just beat Glover. Glover's number 3. The only thing above him is Volkan and Gus.
You got it.
So I guess,
got it.
like with most things at light heavyweight and heavyweight, just winning a fight by default, you're one fight away from a title shot.
No, you're one fight away when you're beasting 25-8. All right.
He's got skills, man. The cardio, his pace that he can keep up. He's definitely got wrestling. grind on people. It's just that chin that's a liability. That makes him tough to bet on, right? Because I mean, if he had a chin on him, he'd be a very good fighter with the skills that he has. It's just that chin is going to get him in trouble at times. But yeah, very good performance. I had bet Glover small when it dropped down to almost or it was like minus 120 or something. I threw a unit on it, but yeah, props to Corey Anderson. The shitty thing about this is I probably would have bet Latifi against Glover, and I don't know, I might have been able to cash on that, but instead I bet Glover and I lose.
That's how it works.
Exactly the same. Exactly the same.
Yep.
Main event time.
Wow.
Yeah. Anthony Smith beat up he just kind of steamrolled another legend in like Kelvin Gastelum fashion. Just kind of go on like a Legends tour and just knock them all out and make it look easy. But man, Shogun, literally from like the first second of this fight, looked slow, plodding, and didn't really want to be there. And that's the way it is. Easy knockout. Anthony Smith knocked him out on the feet. Like, it was like a standing knockout, which is kind of rare. Wes, what did you think of this abomination?
Man. Dude, like, I'm an old school hardcore MMA fan, and I love Pride, as a lot of people did back then. And Shogun was the man. Like, I'm telling you, Shogun in those days was like the style bender of today, the it guy, the dude that you had to watch fight, man. And it's hard, man, to watch the guys that you grew up watching, you know, and cheering for just go out like this, man. And I get it. I've watched it in boxing my entire life, and MMA now that sport's gotten older. It's still, you know, it's hard to watch, man. You're the guys you really, really like go out like that, man. But it's the fight game, and it ain't never going to change. I mean, boxers that make millions still won't stop. You know, you best believe that guys that are making 50 G's definitely ain't going to stop. But yeah, it's still hard to watch, man. I will say though, Anthony Smith, like, can we slow our roll on Anthony Smith? Like, this dude was calling for a title shot and shit. Like, Anthony Smith has got like 45 fights, man.
Yep.
This dude was getting lit up in fuck on Axis just a couple years ago. Like, dudes were starching him and shit, man. He's got a really bad chin. He's chinny as hell. He was gassing. I know he went up now, but I mean, his gas tank was bad. He's on the back end of a career. I don't care what his age says. We all know age doesn't mean anything in this sport anymore. I mean, Aldo looks dead at 29 and shit at 30. I mean, it's fight years in this game. So,
be a good example.
Yeah, I mean, but we're just guy after guy after guy now that's 30 years old, but has been fighting since they were 20 and got 40 fights. It doesn't matter if you're 30, you know. Yeah, we got Anthony.
Just enjoy the hype, Wes, and fade it. There you go.
I did it here. I fucking took Shogun here.
that was crazy.
At that line, I mean, hindsight, yeah, he got fucking smoked. I thought one of them was going to get smoked. I mean, like I said, my biggest bet was Ty Burr and this inside the distance. There's no way this was going 5.
No.
But
yeah, that line was bad to begin with, and I regret not playing it bigger than I did. I think because I had one play in Toutmaster, and it was this parlayed with Manny Bermudez. The fight doesn't go this. I think when I did that, it was minus 350. I'm like, that's a terrible line, honestly. I know it doesn't seem
with
like
the way those
Ty,
guys fight and the chins that they have. Yep.
The chin factors and how bad Shogun's been. I mean, Anthony Smith in 5 rounds. I mean, there's no way.
Luck.
Man, there was no way.
We've also said that before in some fights and got burnt, but yeah.
But in this case, I mean, it never had a chance. I mean, this
even
is like
all the burns that I've had on 5-round main events, not going to the decision over the past since Vegas, since Bisping Henderson when we was in that run over the past 2 years or so has been insane. of main events going the distance, but this one here, no way.
Yeah, no way. And
we're talking about shot old dudes. It almost always comes through. I mean, the Bisping Henderson one was a weird anomaly.
Yeah.
Plus, you're talking about a guy who is known for like the granite chin versus like a cardio king. So it's like, I mean, weird shit happens, and that should have hit too. I mean, it floored twice.
There's been a lot of others in the past,
there's been
year and a half
more that didn't really make sense, but
it's actually been worse than Henderson Bisping. Been way worse, but
it is whatever.
Yeah, I got Anthony Smith at minus 133 inside the distance. I had to take that just because I knew that they were going to slang, and if you get me near Pick'em with the fading Shogun at this point in his career, I had to do it. But yeah, I'm definitely not on the hype train. I'll try to pick the spot to fade him, but in the meantime, I guess he'll just ruin retirements or ruin old guys.
I'll say this: the speed and the skill level of the Davis Yusuf fight is like 6 or 7 times higher than the first fight on this Contender Series card tonight.
Well, the first two. The second fight was a fucking heavyweight fight.
I know. Let's not even talk about that. I mean, this is you can see it's like another levels above.
Yeah, these are actual guys that should be on Contender Series.
They look like they're better than that, both of them.
Yeah, they should probably be in the UFC already. Showing by what we saw on the weekend there. So I ended up parlaying this fight, and the next one doesn't go the distance for a half a unit at minus 110 just for some action. So hopefully somebody gets KO'd.
Yeah, I did too. After I lost my first one, I threw another one in there as well. Actually, oh shit, I forgot I threw that last heavyweight fight in there too. So I got some decent plus money.
There you go.
Oh, all right.
All right, we got a big Fox card coming up on the weekend. We'll let's break that down. First fight, I don't really care at all about. It is terrible. Versus Alvaro Herrera.
Like, why?
Let's make this quick. Wes, just give me a couple seconds. I don't need a breakdown because no one cares.
Man, I don't know how Devin Powell is favored against anybody. I'll pick whoever's the dog in Top Master.
Yeah, new Shaun.
Got a Mexican coming off 2 losses against a guy from New Hampshire coming off 2 losses fighting in fucking Canada. What are they doing?
That could be a Canadian thing.
Oh my god, I don't care. Hopefully somebody just knocks the other one the fuck out and quickly so I don't have to care. Holy shit,
man,
these guys are swanging.
I told you, look at the level of striking.
Athleticism and striking and speed. Holy shit.
Can we get both these guys in? Like, come on. What weight class is this? Lightweight?
Yeah, you'll see both these guys in the UFC.
I don't see how you don't. I'd take both of them right now.
You could just see skill everywhere,
Yeah.
I mean, if they do this for 15 minutes and it's close like that, you can make a case, well, we'll bring both of these guys, and they're better than everything else I've seen so far.
Yeah,
but whatever. They won't do that.
Not gonna do that.
They never do the right thing. All right, I got Powell. Yeah, new Shaun.
My bad.
Yeah, but I'll break this down quickly. I got Powell, an F, Herrera, a D-. There's more to Herrera's game than Powell. Powell is kind of a punching bag, a little bit of cardio, but that's about it.
Jesus,
this is crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take Herrera, but I don't care, and neither should anybody else. Women's strawweight, Branda Marcos, another Canadian. New Shaun, Canadian top 5.
Fuck no.
Ooh, versus Nina Ansaroff, one of my favorites. Wes?
Oh, man.
You care?
Not much. I'm gonna just go with. I'm gonna say Ansaroff. I'll pick her in Top Master. I'm not touching anything on this fight.
Okay. New Shaun.
Oh my God. Is
he
he out?
No,
He looked out.
Not yet.
He's not out.
Yeah.
Fuck, you
Might
look
be
like
out
you fell
soon, though.
down to his knees from that fucking choke. Man, this is fucking fun ass round, dude.
Yeah, they are beating the shit out of each other. Mostly one way, but
Man, Davis has got like massive fucking.
New Shaun, are you gonna over this?
you're damn right. I put the fight goes the distance.
We're back to it. We're back to it.
I got it at minus 320. I put it in a parlay with something that you would probably guess that's coming up soon for 1 unit. I don't care who's going to fight. Marcos is probably going to wrestle and then get tired, and it's going to be a sloppy striking match, and no one's going to have fun, but it is going to go to a decision.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with that. Let me check my grades here. I'm glad we're getting a second round of this Contender Series fight. We deserve that. I got Ansaroff a C, Marcos a C+. I think Ansaroff's actually improved a good amount over the course of her UFC career. I still think she's going to struggle to defend takedowns against a fighter like Marcos. I think that's the difference. Marcos fighting home country will also help. You know how Canadian judges can be, right, New Shaun?
Hell yeah.
So I'll take Marcos, but it's not a blowout. I go with New Shaun with the decision. I think that's a winner. Flyweight, this should be a good bout. Top 15 guys. We got Mateus Nicolau taking on Dustin Ortiz. Wes, what do you think?
Yeah, I really like Nicolau, man. I think he's a good young prospect, man. He's got some pretty decent wins so far, but I just I think this might be kind of a bad matchup for him, man. Dustin Ortiz I think he's going to have the game to nullify a lot of what Nicolau does here, and to keep it short, I think Ortiz can wrestle fuck here and pick up a decision. I grabbed a little bit of, I believe it was plus 180, and it's already ticked up even more. I wish I would have waited a little longer. I should have known the Nicolau money was going to come in, but he's over 2-1 now, and I mean 2-1 on Ortiz. The Pantoja win last time out to me was pretty impressive. I'm still very high on Pantoja. I thought that was a great win for Dustin Ortiz, and he's a very tough out, man. 2-1 against a young guy. Yeah, I'll take a little of that.
New Shaun, what do you think?
I agree with a lot of what Wes said. People are definitely high on Nicolau. Came back after his USADA vacation, put it on Louis Smolka, but I don't know. We kind of know that Louis Smolka just hasn't been up to level, up to what he has showed lately. The win against Maraga's a weird fighter. He kind of figured it out recently, but Ortiz is a tough matchup. I think he's tough to look good against. Like Wes said, that Pantoja win was pretty impressive. I think all of us are pretty high on Pantoja. I think I'm gonna have to sprinkle on Ortiz at plus 215. That's kind of a crazy number for a flyweight fight that's probably going to go to a decision, and Ortiz can wrestle, and it's probably going to be close. I guess if you like Nicolau, I'd probably look to him to win by decision. That's minus 115. That's a little more reasonable compared to his minus 255 money line. But I'm going to pick Ortiz and Toutmaster and probably put a half unit on him.
Yeah, this is an interesting fight. I got both of them at a C+. I think Nicolau is underrated by a lot, but Ortiz is just a tough out against everybody. He makes you fight. He makes you grind. He doesn't beat himself. He's a guy that you have to beat. So he's going to try to grind and try to wrestle and takedowns, and it's going to make Nicolau's life a hell. I lean Nicolau to win. Because I think he's a better striker, rangier. His youth, I think, like I said, he's been a bit underrated. But this is not a walk on the park, so I'm kind of with you. I think this line's a bit ballooned for what it should be. I'll pick Nicolau to win, but again, I can't fault anyone for playing Ortiz as a dog, and it's definitely a tout master play. I'll take Dustin Ortiz. We're back at it, new Shaun. Alexis Davis, Caitlin Chukagian. Wes, we'll start with you. Is there going to be some mom quit in this one?
We got a mook. Man, I have no fucking clue, dude. It's hard to even care about these women's fights anymore, man. I mean, they really don't mean anything.
They're just blah. I mean, this fight is blah. It's a blah fight. It's not interesting.
Yeah, I mean, most of them are just not entertaining. You know what's going to happen going in. The odds makers now know what's going to going in when you have minus 500 overs and shit. Yeah, I have no clue, man. I'll probably, I don't know. I'll probably take the dog, whoever's the dog in Tout Master. I can't get up and have any kind of fucking, any kind of hype for fucking this fight, dude. It's just terrible.
All right, New Shaun, tell us what you're going to do and leave it at that.
Got to close that parlay with goes the distance minus 300. So that comes out to the two women's overs on the prelims, minus 133 for both of them to go the distance. I took that for 1 unit.
There you go. New Shaun tells you what New Shaun's going to tell you. It's not a surprise anymore. Yeah, so I got Alexis Davis as a B- and Chukagian as a C+. I rate Davis higher just because of her grappling game. I think Chukagian's got a decent jab, and her takedown defense is okay, but she doesn't have any really grappling chops. Should the fight go to the ground, and if it goes there, I think Davis could dominate the fight. Maybe not get a finish, but she'll be able to control her on the mat. So that's why I give her the nod, and I think she wins. Televised portion, actually no, Fight Pass prelim. Sorry, I missed a fight. We got. Is he Canadian top 5? John McDessie?
Oh,
maybe?
God. I hope not.
Versus tough smashes coach Ross Pearson. New Shaun. Actually, I'll start with Wes. I don't know. I feel like I should start New Shaun.
No, I'll start
Look
with
over
Wes.
here. Look over here, John. Look over here, John. You might be top 5 Canadian.
No.
Yeah.
Wes, you can have this. You have a bet on this.
Right here,
fight.
John. Right here. Yeah, man. I think this line is a little bit to do with McDessie beating Abel last time out. I don't think Ross is as washed as a lot of people think. I think he's about done. But man, he's lost to some of the best guys in his division over his past 5 or 6 fights. It's just another line that I think is a little inflated, and I got Ross at plus 160. I think he can keep this on the feet and box with Medeski and take a couple rounds. Plus 160, very small, but I'll take a shot there. Find out.
New Shaun, what do you think about this? You going to go against your Canadian brethren?
Not with any money. I think both these guys are pretty washed. Wes is right, though. Pearson's losing to the better fighters. But McDessie has that peripheral vision, you gotta be careful with those when he can look in 2 different directions. He's aware of everything. So that is something you gotta worry about when fighting a guy like him.
Right, man, it's shit.
I have no clue. I mean, it should be a stand-up fight. That's what McDessie wants. But Pearson is a plus 165 or 145 right now. I'll pick that. I can't.
Went down.
Yeah, it went down a bit. It is in Canada, so people will likely be behind McDessie, which is one thing. But I'll pick Pearson, but I don't want to have money on either of these guys.
Yeah, I disagree a bit. I got McDessie a C, Ross Pearson a D+. I have visions of Ross Pearson in his last fight getting hit cleanly by wrestler Mizuto Hirota, a guy who has like almost no punching acumen, and he was getting hit in that fight. McDessie's hands are just so much faster. He's got a beautiful jab, can counter punch. I think that Pierce is just going to get pierced up for no pun intended on the feet by just a cleaner, more accurate striker who's going to throw straight punches versus a guy who's going to throw hooks. So I'm going to take McDessie. I think he's actually one of the better, one of the better plays on the undercard. Next
this really
fight,
going to go to a decision. Seriously?
Might. Yeah, it looks that way. I got a televised portion of the card. We got light heavyweight. We got the Hulk eyeing cute labia going up against.
Oh, kick that leg again.
Murad Antagulov. Woo! Wes, what do you think of these two behemoths going at it? Toe to toe heavyweight division.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's almost a toss up of who wins this fight. But I don't see this fight going 3 rounds. I put fight inside the distance in a parlay at, I believe, like right around minus 300 or something. Kind of leaned cute labia at plus money. He'll be the pick and top master since he's the dog. But I think it's a toss up fight, man. Who knows? I don't see it going to the decision.
Okay, new Shaun.
Is the cute labia getting a little underpriced here?
Yeah, I think he might. Be.
I mean, Antagulov, like, what the fuck? You
don't know.
He beat Christensen, but that guy was fucking, like, was he F minus? He had to have been close.
He was an F minus.
And then you got Rogerio de Lima. I mean, that guy's okay, but he's pretty fucking terrible too. So, definitely gonna pick cute labes. I don't know if I'm gonna put any money. It might just be a small, like, half unit kind of action play for it. It's kind of tough. I think I give him the edge. He's got some serious power. So, I will, definitely pick cute labes and probably put half a unit on him.
Yeah, my grades are Antagulov C minus, cute labia D plus. I think Antagulov's definitely the more dangerous fighter in the first 2 minutes, and is can threaten with submissions as well. Like, makes him a risk. But I think the longer the fight wears on, I think it favors cute labia the farther it goes on. So this is a tough fight to call. I'm starting to lean towards cute labia myself, but I'm just not confident. I'd like to see a lot more of Antagulov before I kind of, it's there's just such limited. He's just, from what we've seen in 2 UFC fights, it's just been so limited to really gauge just how really good he is. So, like I said, Antagulov early, cute labia late.
How the
This
hell
fight's
is
going
Jennifer
the distance.
Lopez?
Yes, it
49 years old. Jesus Christ.
What the hell are you looking at, Wes?
Somebody posting fucking Jennifer Lopez at her 49 birthday party in a bikini. Jesus. How is that woman 49 years old?
America's changed.
Oh, that's Trish retweeting shit on my timeline. Don't do that to me, girl. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how that fight went the distance. Those guys were fucking throwing heat, and especially in that first round.
Yeah, that was a really good fight, too. Both of these guys should be in the show.
Already.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Like, not better than 90% of the fighters on that Germany card. Both of these dudes.
Yeah, it's something else.
Oh.
ESPN deal is going to be very big for the fighters. Yeah, okay.
We'll
sure.
No, it's going to be very big for fucking the old white dudes that own it, motherfucker.
228 starting to perk up, but that's another story. Yeah, so we got another Canadian. My God, look at all the Canadians on this card. Hakeem Dawodu, big hype train that was derailed at one point. Hakeem Dawodu
He was great white hope. Well, he's not white, but he was great North Hope, and he got
And he is
snuffed.
from Calgary.
Yep, he is good, but he definitely didn't show it
Calgary
last time.
Yeah, and he's taking on Austin Arnett, something called Austin Arnett. Wes, do you care? I don't.
Yeah, I think it's a tough fight for him. I don't know, man. There's no way you could lay minus 300 on him coming off that last fight, but he should win this fight. I just don't see how you could lay any kind of money, any kind of line like that on him. Hell, he's almost 4-1 in this spot. I mean, he should win, but yeah, I don't trust that guy at 4-1. I might even pick Arnett and Talmaster, but I don't really have any other feelings on this fight. It means nothing.
Yeah, that's a good point. New Shaun, were we raising Duwadu on our Canadian pound per pound?
Well, he was up there until he just got smoked in 39 seconds last time.
Is he now below the Laramie brothers?
No, I think still above them. Duwadu's good, man.
What about the Rougeau brothers?
Fuck, I don't even know anymore. Duwadu's good. I don't know if he stayed home this fight card. I hope so. You don't need to be going to fucking SBG and losing all your skills and
that is a bad place.
Getting
to go.
confused about fighting because we see what happens with all their shitty fighters. So. Yeah, I hope he trained in Calgary. He is good. It looks like they're trying to get him a win. Arnett coming off of 2 losses, but Arnett does have a bunch of first round finishes and stuff like that. So Duwadu better be careful early on, or else we could have a repeat of what happened in March there. So I think he does show up this time. He won't shit the bed in his UFC debut, and he'll show some stuff, and it'll be good. But I would never bet him at minus 400. That's crazy.
Yeah, I got Arnett D-, Duwadu D+. Yeah, I mean, I think I had Duwadu like a C before and dropped him to a D+. I mean, there's a lot of talent from an offensive perspective, but defensively there are holes. He's the type of guy who can like beat Arnett in like 35 seconds. If he wants to, but yeah, after last time, it's hard to kind of trust the guy, especially at this cost. He just lost, so I'll take Duwadu by finish, first round even. But it's you can't bet on a guy in this scenario, given how the last fight went. For me, this is one of my favorite fights on the card. Cajun Johnson taking on Islam Mac and Cheese. Wes.
Mac and Cheese is. I think this is the fight that the UFC finally
gets what they want.
Get what they want.
Gets to slide the penis in. Cajun Johnson. Yeah, I think Mac and Cheese is gonna fuck Cajun up here. Can't really find an angle to play anything on this fight. I mean, Mac and Cheese is up to like minus 700 or something now. Cajun's a really tough dude, so I don't know if Mac and Cheese gets a finish. Maybe look at his points handicap when that comes out. But yeah, I just this might be I know Cajun's had a couple decent wins here lately, but this is a different level. I think this is one of the biggest mismatches on the card, honestly. All over Mac and Cheese here.
New Shaun, another Canadian.
Yeah, this, I know we've kind of said it a couple times, but I think this is the end of the road for the Cajun Johnson, win train. He's fighting a very good fighter in old Mac and Cheese. I put Mac and Cheese in a parlay at minus 600. This is going to be a fucking beatdown. Cajun, he might even finish him. So I would definitely look at the points handicap. Cajun Johnson broke his jaw a while ago.
Again?
No, but he's done it in his career.
Broken it twice.
Yeah.
I think he's broken it twice.
Yeah, so it's definitely there. It can be hit. But yeah, this is going to be one-way traffic. Mac and Cheese can wrestle. He can probably outstrike Cajun Johnson if he really wants to. So Yeah, I put mac and cheese minus 600. Fucking chalkity chalk in a parlay.
Yeah, I have Cajun Johnson a C minus, mac and cheese a B. Most people know my thoughts on mac and cheese, and pretty much anybody from that region, it's either bet them or pass. It's just the way it goes. The wrestling is so dominant. He's schooled a lot of guys now in the UFC. I think he had that one loss to, ironically, to Adriano Martins, which is really ironic because Adriano Martins was the guy who got knocked out by Cajun Johnson. So it's like, you want to do MMA math? I mean, this is a great bet on mac and cheese, but that was 3 years ago now. Mac and cheese has fought 3 times since then and completely dominated his opponents. He's 26. He's turning 27 in September. He's coming into his own. Trains, in my opinion, the best fight camp in the world, the American Kickboxing Academy, and he's primed to, enter the top 10 of this division at some point in the near future and be a really viable fighter moving forward. Just dominant grappler and can throw punches as well. So I'll take mac and cheese either by wide decision or late stoppage. Jordan Mean and Alex Morano. Man,
did you?
These guys
just
finished.
Just a heads up. Did you see what they just announced here?
No.
Thiago Santos is fighting Greg Holland, or Kevin Holland.
What?
Sorry, not Greg Holland. Kevin Holland, who was on the Contender Series, right?
Yeah.
They are giving him Thiago Santos.
I'm trying to remember Kevin Holland.
Fuck, who did?
Yeah, he actually had a pretty good fight.
Yeah,
He was pretty decent.
Why are they doing that?
No, yeah, it's not. Yeah, this is called the Contender Series. Why take a contender and give him goddamn a Mack truck?
Yeah, he beat Will Santiago Jr. by a 3-round decision a month and a bit ago.
But he didn't get a contract.
Yeah, because he didn't finish, but he put a beating on that dude.
That
like,
probably should have been stopped.
So that's the theory. Probably Thiago Santos needed an opponent.
I guess
he's a big old long dude like Bones Jones, dude. He's a massive fucking guy, dude, for that weight.
He probably had a late notice fight, and they said, "Okay, why don't you come on the card?" I assume that's what happened.
Well, the last time Santos, he weighed in at that in the Adesanya Tavares fight, but he didn't have anything scheduled, and then they're just throwing him fucking Kevin Holland, like that poor bastard.
Well, probably because he already weighed in, so they said, "Okay." They probably had a deal like if
we'll
you
give you a
not
fight within
this card,
yeah,
within a month or something like that. That's probably exactly what happened. So it was probably a placeholder because that fight card has 3 fights listed on the televised portion. I'm looking at it, so it was probably a placeholder there all along. They just had to find him an opponent.
Gotcha.
Jim Miller versus Alex White.
Alex White can kill him.
Yep.
Yeah, why do they keep giving fucking Jimmy Miller I'm telling you, do a cup of fucking applesauce. X-ray these motherfuckers' heads, do a cup of fucking applesauce.
Him and Gaethje.
Oh my god.
Oh, that one fucking pick of fucking Matt Hughes, BJ Penn, and who was it? It was a 3-pack of fucking applesauce cups. Man, that was bad.
Canadian again. Is Jordan Mean an all-time Canadian GOAT, new Shaun? Taking on Alex Morano?
Yeah, Jordan Mean.
An all-time Canadian top 10?
He peaked when he was 24 years old.
At that time, he was Canadian top 5.
He was fucking good back then.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's shot.
Wes? Does the shot Canadian have a shot?
Man,
Alex Morano?
You know how much I've faded fucking
Morano.
the dude that doesn't want to fight over the past couple years. But if Mean actually cares to fight in this fight, he's fighting in Canada and shit. I would think he's ready for his fight. I think he went and got some training somewhere else finally. Man, he's better than this fucking scrub Morano, dude. I'm taking a little shot on Jordan Mean. I think I've faded him in his past 5 fights. but I'm taking a little shot here, man. I think I got minus 120 or something like that. Nothing big, just at home. I think he's motivated for this one. I'm pretty sure I read that he got away from his dad for a little bit and started training somewhere else. Got a little training somewhere else. Man, Morono's terrible, dude. So yeah, I'll take a little shot here.
Fair. Very fair. New Shaun, tell me about Canada and tell me if he's got a shot, because so far you haven't been very favorable to Canada.
Yeah, well, Canadian fighters haven't been doing that good lately. There's a good fucking reason for that.
You guys are so self-loathing.
Oh, yes. Well, I think it's all the fucking journalists and bloggers pumping up all the
Blame
Canadians.
it on the journos.
Yeah.
If we go skill to skill, Mean should tool Morono, but man, did you see how bad fucking Jordan Mean looked like 2-3 fights ago? It was not good. So I agree he should be able to do this. I'm gonna pick him. He's the dog he's the dog now. He's plus 105.
Yeah.
I'll definitely pick him, but I've made myself a rule to not put money on fucking Jordan Mean ever again after his last couple of showings.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's difficult to do so. I got both these guys at D+. Each of them have their moments where you think they're better than they are, but then they just falter, like completely fall apart in fights. I think that's a fair assessment of how you can describe them. They could be great for 3 minutes, then just completely fall apart. It's happened to Morono before. It's happened to Mean. I just think Morono is at this point more durable, which is not saying a lot than Jordan Mean. Even though I think Mean definitely is technically more talented, but I don't know how anyone could trust him. But it's one of those fights where one guy can completely dominate and you just look like a fool. Mm-hmm. So I think this is of any fight on this card, I think this might be the biggest pass.
This Australian dude in Contender Series is going to just absolute dummy this old American.
This is another Australian prospect, eh?
I don't know if that's Australia or it's New Zealand. I'm fucking pretty terrible when it comes
He's
to
Australasia, we'll call it.
There we go.
He's minus fucking 550.
Yusuf won as a plus 200 dog last time out. Or in the last fight, so yeah, minus 550. He better put a hurting on this guy.
Let's say. His striking looks pretty good to start.
And this guy looks like a tub of fucking goo.
Yeah, let's take a quick gander. He strikes. Does he already have a cut on his right eye?
He's got a old man backside and shit. That dude could be Hank Hill out there. He could. That's fucking Hank Hill.
He is gonna get knocked out
eventually.
I say within 2 minutes.
Dude set up that counter. Look, he's ducking under, coming up with some big shit. He's gonna knock him out.
Yeah, I would hope so.
He literally just took the guy's best punch, the Australian, just laughed at it.
Yeah, he just raised his hands up dude,
that's all you got, bro?
Hell yeah, dude. 1 minute in, fresh right hook straight to the face. He's dude.
It's not a good look when pasty white guys with no muscle wear those tight fucking shorts.
Yeah.
It's just a bad look. Especially the colors that they're rocking there. Ugh.
All right, let's get to the main card.
Main card, baby. Here we go.
We got a guy who really one of the surprise wins of the year, Alex Hernandez. I believe that's his name. Yes, taking on Canadian pound for pound, UFC pound for pound.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's that.
Yes.
I would say the active pound for pound.
Look, man, I'm getting sold on the kid, man. I think we all think that he's pretty damn good. He's been one of the most talked about prospects out of Canada up there for a couple years. I just think he's starting to put it all together, man. Even his striking is starting to look better. I think that the line here is man. I think that it's priced a lot off Hernandez getting some flash KO against a named guy. I thought Ohm was going to be more like 2-1 minus 220 here, and man, I really think he wins this fight. I would hope he gets it to the mat where he's just way better than Hernandez here. And I think he's going to do that. That's one thing I really like about Ohm. I think very, very intelligent fighter, man. He knows where his strengths are, and he gets fights there, man. And I think he does it here. I grabbed, I believe it was minus 120 or minus 125. It's gotten up to like minus 140 now, but like I said, I thought it would be upwards of 2-1. So yeah, this is one of my favorite plays on the entire card. I really like Ohm in this spot.
New Shaun, tell us about Canada's new number one fighter.
I mean, he's got the mustache. He's got the fanny pack.
Fanny pack.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He is ready to party.
You think when he sees Rogan this week, they're just going to talk about fanny pack?
Oh
game?
yeah. Oh yeah.
How many fanny packs you think Rogan's got?
He's got at least 30. At least 30.
Like guys that got hats and shit, or guys that got, Rogan's literally got a case full of fucking all his fanny packs.
I'm surprised.
Kind of matches them to his outfit and his fucking affliction shirt he's gonna wear that day.
I'm surprised Rogan hasn't started a fanny pack company yet.
Yeah,
or like been asked to invest in one. Like, come on, like why pay for them when you could just own them?
There you go.
I'm sure Own It sells fanny packs, right?
I would assume On It does, yeah. Here we go.
That was fun.
Oh, dude's like, what?
What is it with these refs, man? Like, they literally let a guy get killed, or they start waving a fight off.
That Buffer.
Like, what the fuck?
Guy looks like Buffer.
I mean, he was hurt.
He was hurt.
Like,
I guess he just didn't want to see a kill shot. But yeah, there's no consistency when it comes to reffing, judging, anything in the MMA game.
You watch that first fight, and Herzog lets that dude take fucking 100 unanswered shots and sub attempts, and this dude literally stopped looking.
Oh, he was fucking hurt. He missed that head kick.
I kind of like the stoppage.
He went to a head kick, but he fucking missed it. Oh.
But I kind of like.
Oh, the dude was done. Like, I mean, he's putting his hands up and he's stumbling across the cage.
It's literally the.
He came back too pretty, though, man. I don't.
A good job. Oh yeah, he's getting a contract. Dana loves big guys. What is this? Yeah, middleweight, heavyweight.
No.
Nah, it was
light heavyweight maybe.
185.
I don't even remember what it is.
Let me look.
I'm guessing light heavyweight.
I think I was guessing 185. Let's see. Yep, 205.
Holy shit!
He's got a good body. He's got a good body shape though. But I could see him down at 185. I think that'd be a pretty good weight. I don't know if he can make it, but
yeah.
It's like like that's what I think like fighters should kind of like. I mean, not like a jacked up dude, but like that's like. I'm like, okay,
functional muscle.
Yeah, exactly. I'm good with that. Give him a contract, fine. More Australians, the better.
There you go.
Yeah, I got no hate there. Where were we?
I'm still flogging Ohm. That finish of Evan Dunham last time out was really impressive. Like Wes said, he seems like he's putting it together. It is going to be a bit dangerous to start with, as we've seen. Alex Hernandez does have some fucking power. And we have seen Ohm get rocked in the past, so he'll definitely have to have his guard up early. But I do expect Ohm to get him to the ground and to be able to grapple him, maybe even finish him on the ground. He seems to be on quite the roll right now, and I think he continues it.
Yeah, I got Ohm a C+, Hernandez a C. Hernandez certainly has a lot of hype coming in from his last fight, where he kind of took advantage of Beneil Dariush, or kind of stunned him and won by knockout. He's certainly an athletic fighter, and I think is a pretty scary opponent. But since we didn't really see a lot, I think it's certainly a letdown. It's not a letdown spot, but now we're going to have to see him potentially, if he doesn't get a quick finish, he's going to have to beat him the old-fashioned way. Just with Ohm's grappling ability, I think that's going to be really a daunting task. Because anytime Ohm gets to fight to the ground, he's going to be dangerous, and he really does well to control opponents once he gets to the mat. So I'll take the guy, who we know versus the guy we don't know. And I think the odds are over-exaggerated from that Hernandez kind of shock win. And new Shaun, that time it means consensus bet. That's our MMA Analysis consensus bet of the week. Ohm, money line, Canadian pound for pound. What's the price? Minus 140, right?
Yeah, you can get it anywhere between minus 135 and 140 right now.
Yeah, minus 135 in some spots, so not too bad. That is our consensus bet of the week. Ohm. I know, it's hard to say, but here we are. Interesting fight ahead. I know New Shaun may not agree, but I think Wes will. Strawweight, the return of Joanna Champion, her first 3-round fight since she's been champion in the UFC, taking on one of my favorites, the Tiny Tornado, Tecia Torres. Wes, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, this is actually a women's MMA fight that I think you can get pretty hyped up for. It's actually two of the more exciting fighters. I think on that side of fighting. This is a tricky one. Just because of JJ, of course, coming off those 2 losses to Rose. I just think even though she looked better in that second fight, I just think that Rose just ended up being a really bad matchup for JJ, and Rose is pretty damn good, I guess. I mean, it took a while for her to finally get there, but now that she's there, I mean, she's really damn good. This fight, I just, man, if this stays on the feet and stays a kickboxing match, I think this old JJ fight. I just think she's a way better kickboxer than Tecia is, even though I think Ticia's, improved a lot in that aspect in the past couple of years. I just don't think she's at JJ's level. I mean, if Tecia can get takedowns here, it's her fight. I don't know if she can get takedowns consistently on JJ. I don't see how you can lay the kind of line on JJ here after those 2 losses, man, coming back first fight after 2 consecutive losses. So I'm gonna pick JJ. I think she wins a decision here. But man, it's hard to bet. I know they opened Tecia at like minus 600 or something over in Europe. That was probably worth a little sprinkle. I just don't know if plus 250 is worth the shot here. But JJ for me, but it's just a lot of unknowns. I wouldn't be surprised if Tecia eked out a couple rounds. So, yeah.
New Shaun, thoughts on this one?
I actually really like this fight.
Wow. I thought you'd never say that about it.
No, I like the very, very upper echelon of women's fighting. There isn't much of it, but
they're actually good.
But when
because they're actually
I know
good.
they actually have skills. Tecia Torres looked really good in her last fight, even though she lost to Andrade. She showed a lot of improvement in the striking. It was very surprising. I thought Andrade was going to just run her over. Joanna looked alright against Rose. I think Rose is just that was a close fight. It could have gone either way. I was happy to see her not get knocked out after she got flatlined the fight before. I'm kind of kicking myself when the lines came out. I was watching them. Joanna actually got down to minus 215, and I was like, if that hits minus 200, I'm laying it.
It didn't go any lower than minus 215. So I ended up tossing in a parlay with old mac and cheese. So I got those parlayed together, I think around like minus 130 or something. Just for one unit. I really like Joanna in this fight. I know some, like Wes said, he's a bit worried that Joanna might be fading now, but I just think that's a tough matchup against Rose. Tisha Torres is not going to be able to take Joanna down. Joanna's got really good takedown defense. The elite of elite have been able to take her down, but not really do too much to her. So I don't really expect Tisha Torres to be able to lay on her for any amount of time. She might be able to take her down, but Joanna should be able to get right up. And then on the feet, this is a bit of a mismatch. Is a bit of an understatement. Joanna should be able to pick Tisha apart. I'll look to see what Joanna's points handicap is. I got burned by that on Andrade, but I'm gonna dip my toe in there again.
I think Tisha's just too small to consistently hold her down.
Yep.
That's how I'm leaning. I kind of agree with a lot of what Shaun said. It's just, man, 2 straight losses. We'll see though.
Yep.
Yeah, I got Joanna an A+ still, and Torres an A-. Yeah, this is tough because Joanna's motivation could be different because of first non-title fight, not defending that or fighting for it. I didn't like her language really, or the commentary she made her last couple of fights either. I thought that was, seems like distracted or maybe lost a little bit. But I mean, when she got in the cage with Rose, like the fight was super competitive the last time, and maybe different judges, maybe she would have snuck out a decision. Certainly possible. I really like how Torres fought against Andrade last time too. Like she fought that bulldozer, and she was super competitive in that fight. And it really kind of gave her a bout. So this is going to be tough, but I kind of agree with Wes. I think just her size, which means Joanna's got the length to kind of, land from a little bit farther distance on the feet. And I don't see this fight taking place on the mat too much. I mean, Joanna still has pretty good takedown defense, and it could struggle. But I mean, Torres is a pretty good striker in her own right. I just don't think she's as good a striker as Joanna. And I think her accolades speak for that. So I'm going to take Joanna by decision, but I don't think it'll be a blowaway. Co-main event time. This one's going to be fun. I don't see how it's not. Aldo Stevens. Aldo's first non-title fight in the UFC ever. Wes, what do you think?
Yeah, man, my boy Aldo. I did it again, man. I'm taking him here. I'm right. Riding. I'm going with Aldo till the wheels fall off, man. I will go down to my grave. I've watched thousands of fighters. I still think he's one of the greatest fighters to ever fight in this game. And he's definitely declining, man, but he's not completely washed. He's just fighting once in generation fighters, like you don't get fights off when you're, when you're Aldo. Before Max, he just mauled Frankie Edgar. He mauls Chad. He mauls these other guys that are literally like not once in a generation type fighters, like I believe Max Holloway is. And, if you want to get into, like Stevens is a year older than Aldo. Stevens is older in fight years than Aldo is. He's been in way many wars than Aldo has. I just, man, skill for skill here, that Aldo's more skilled than Stevens here. Stevens absolutely has the power. But that's even deceiving too, because up until recently, Stevens hadn't like really knocked anybody out in like years. So, yeah, man, I took some Aldo here. I believe it was minus 125 or 130. I'm riding it till the end, man. I think Aldo gets it done here. These are just the type of fights that he should probably have going forward if he wants to stay in the sport. I don't think he's ever going to beat a guy like Max Holloway or probably even a guy like Brian Ortega at this point. So I'm all for him fighting guys like Jeremy Stevens. And I like him here. Bet him again. Ride or die, baby.
New Shaun, what do you think?
I was all ready to fade Aldo going into this. Coming off 2 losses. Got beat up pretty bad at the end of both of those fights. We know about the kind of lower weight classes. If they kind of hit a skid, sometimes they just fall off a cliff. I watched the second Holloway fight again, and holy fuck. If Max Holloway wasn't a Terminator,
yeah,
Aldo would have got a knockout early in that fight, because holy shit, he was throwing absolute heat in that fight, landing a lot. Really impressed. Obviously, because it was Max, he didn't finish him, and then Aldo gassed and got picked apart and finished. Stevens has been on a hell of a run lately. That KO of Josh Emmett is absolutely ruthless. The Duho Choi one was pretty rough too. I think this is going to be a really, really good fight. I expect Aldo to throw a bunch of leg kicks like he did in that second fight with Holloway. Stevens has kind of shown a propensity to get leg kicked and show some damage in fights he's had. But Stevens, I don't know, he's definitely shown a bunch more KO power. He's kind of regained it. So I kind of jumped off the fade Aldo train and I looked at the doesn't go the decision. It was plus 135. I just bet it for 1 unit. I know Stevens hasn't been finished in a really, really long time. Especially by KO. It was back against Eve Edwards in 2012. But if Aldo lands some of the shit that he was landing on Holloway, Stevens will go good night. Also, if Jeremy Stevens lands some of the shit that he's been landing in his fights, I think Aldo will do the same, because Holloway doesn't have that much power, and the reason he was able to finish Aldo was more just Aldo getting tired and just an accumulation of damage, but Stevens does have power, so I lean Aldo to win. I think he might knock out Stevens after he takes out his legs, but Jeremy Stevens has pulled some shit out before and KO'd some people, so that's why I took the plus money on doesn't go the distance.
That's fair. I will say I got Aldo as an A and Stevens a B plus. My thing with Stevens is, yeah, he's kind of beat up guys with kind of shaky chins, and but I think in this fight, he's usually faced really the highest level of talent. He kind of freezes up a bit and ends up, willing to kind of do what the other guy likes to do. And I think Aldo's the guy who's going to sort of land leg kicks from range, and he's just going to dominate Jeremy Stevens on the feet. And, he may not get a finish. I don't think he will. I think he'll probably go to a decision, and Aldo's, going to dominate the fight. While Stevens is going to struggle to kind of land. So I'm going to take Aldo to win by decision. I think this is you'll see Aldo's kind of talent come out again, where he's not facing a guy who's going to be throwing or landing 9 strikes a minute against him, because it's a different kind of fight.
Him against a guy that's not Max Holloway. That's what he's going to look like.
Doesn't have a length of Max Holloway. Doesn't have the volume ability of Max Holloway, who throws from the side as opposed to throwing from straight punches again. It's a big difference. So
they can take a round and a half of prime auto striking, like Shaun said, and fucking not even be phased by it.
Do you guys see the end of that round?
Yeah.
Do you see where like the ref went up to
Newell?
Newell? It's like, are you okay? And Newell's like, why? Because I only got one arm. You don't think I'm okay?
Munoz is bringing the heat, man. This is a tough fight for Newell.
This is pretty much what it looks like when you're fighting a really decent guy and you have one fucking arm. I mean, like straight up. Newell's good. He's good, man. He just
if Newell's knee like dropped that dude, he would have gotten a contract.
He front kicked him a couple times, nice.
Yeah,
but
I mean, dude, the guy is like he's great for a fucking one arm guy. It's pretty amazing the shit how good he is for that. But man, when you're fighting
killers,
when you're fighting decent fighters, man, it's just
it's only so much you can overcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, main event: Alvarez, Dustin, as you know,
Violence.
Dustin Poirier.
Violenceweight title.
Yes. Main event, second time around. New Shaun, you're going to be there. You're pumped. Wes, break it down.
Man, yeah, this is like Eddie said. This is absolutely for the Violenceweight title. These are two of the most violent, exciting guys that this sport has, man. This is a tough one for me, man, because I'm a total fanboy for both of these guys, man. I mean, I don't know how you can't be. I've watched Eddie for so long, man, and so many different promotions. Finally got him a title over here, and man, I don't know. Just the line here kind of sways me because, man, you're laying plus money on Eddie here. And then if you go back and watch the first fight, I mean, he had Dustin in a lot of trouble, man. I know he did, some illegal shit. But before that happened, I mean, Dustin was in some bad shape, man. So I thought this would be much more of a pick 'em, and it's starting to move that way. But man, I just think this is probably going to look a lot like the first one, and I think that Eddie's gonna get the better of some of these strikings, man. I know it's looked better recently, but man, Poirier's had really bad chin problems in the past. He's really wild. He gets in firefights, and that's Eddie's game, man. Eddie's got a granite fucking chin, and he loves that type of fight. Now, I think that's the type of fight this is going to be. And at plus money, I had to take a shot on Eddie. I believe I got plus 150, and great fight. These are the kind of fights you get hyped up for. But yeah, I had to take a shot on Eddie here, plus 150.
New Shaun, what do you think?
Remember after Eddie Alvarez's first 3 UFC fights that all went to a decision and not a whole lot of shit happened to him? Everybody thought he was broken and just a boring ass fighter. And then he just fucking obliterates the Dos Anjos in the first round, gets knocked out by McGregor, goes to absolute war with Poirier, and then just an absolute war with Gaethje. Holy shit, that turned back into the old Eddie Alvarez that we know. I think this is close to a coin flip fight. As you saw in the first one, both guys had the other guy in some trouble. Seemed like Eddie was taken over at the end when he did the dumb shit. I don't know what else is going to be different in this fight. I don't know if they're going to be looking to learn some new things from it, or they're just going to go out and fucking war, and whoever's last standing wins. That's kind of how I hope it is. I'll pick Eddie as he's the underdog. I might sprinkle on him, but the price is coming down on him, so that's kind of holding me off from that.
I got both these guys in A-. We saw part of this fight before, as both these guys alluded to. Dustin started fast, had Alvarez hurt. As the fight wore on, things started to even. Alvarez hurt him. My take is, in a 5-round fight, it's almost impossible to pick against Eddie Alvarez. He's a guy who tends to get better as fights wear on. He's willing to go through war. Dustin has been in some wars, for sure. Obviously, the Justin Gaethje fight most recently, but 5 rounds is a different beast with a guy who just doesn't give up. And we've seen Dustin get KO'd, like Michael Johnson, for example. We've seen the Conor fight. There's been a few different opportunities. Korean Zombie. Where he tends to start well and then it goes bad. He's had a better run of form recently, but you just can't pick against Eddie in that long of a fight. There's just too long. His ability to continue, his ability to keep a pace. I think it's gonna be tough for Dustin to keep that pace for that long. So I'm gonna take Eddie Alvarez as well. I haven't bet him yet, but it's definitely one of my stronger leans right now on the fight card. And that just about does it for this week's podcast. Nick Newell not looking too good, guys.
Yeesh.
Not looking good at all.
No, I mean, look, that's just what's going to happen when you fight somebody that's good and you got one fucking arm, man.
Yeah,
I'm impressed by the guy, though. I've been impressed by him for years now, man. What that guy does with having one fucking arm is pretty. Like, seriously, no, he's fighting a pretty good guy out of fucking Team Alpha Male, and he's in there competing with one fucking arm.
Props to Wes for grabbing that early line on Munoz. Yeah. That's for sure.
That was. I even that's what I was telling Lance. He was like, "I had lines long." I was like, "I was taking plus money. It could have been plus 105." The dude's got one fucking arm, man. Like, what do you need to bet against a one-arm man? Plus 300. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Newell couldn't even beat the Ben fade.
Yeah, that got me a little worried, though, man. That got me a little worried.
Yeah, next
not
week,
over yet.
Next week we got.
No,
yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be more of the same.
Next week.
Next week is the 2 rematches that not really anybody wanted. UFC 227, Dillashaw Garbrandt and DJ Cejudo.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's right.
So do we think that motivated Cejudo has any shot this time?
I'll be taking DJ inside.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, we know you will.
Absolutely.
You got to think point though. Some way. Well, it is what it is. I can't tell it to new Shaun. He is the biggest DJ fanboy out there.
If there's ever gonna be one guy in this time that can do it, it's this guy right here.
Right. But I thought that last time too, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was actually the first time I thought it was way too soon.
Yeah, I think everybody did.
He's got experience, big wins, and everything since that last fight. I think this one's going to be a little closer, but that's about it. DJ's otherworldly, man.
If there's a guy, it's going to be this guy. I guess that's kind of the point.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a rough looking pay-per-view card, though, eh? Its openers Benito Lopez versus Ricky Simon.
I actually think both of those guys are pretty good.
Yeah, but that's not a pay-per-view opener.
That fight got canceled. Benito Lopez is out. Ricky Simone is fighting a guy off the Contender Series.
Oh, right.
Wait
that's
a
what
second.
They just announced, right?
Oh, man, he got it.
No way.
He's out of it.
They fucking trained that alpha male all day.
You get a Team Alpha Male guy to choke like grabbing a stuff. Like, that dude wouldn't better walk back in the gym, man.
The third fight on the pay-per-view is Polyana Viana versus JJ Aldrich.
I don't know why they're doing that.
Brad said Newell's corner just told him to throw his hands. I laughed so loud in the middle of work.
Jesus Christ.
They should put Munoz and Johns on the main card.
Yeah, but I guess they want something
TV
on.
headliner. Yeah.
So y'all didn't see who it was that they
I forget who they just announced. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they had that fight, right? That's on them, right?
No, they replaced Benito Lopez with a Contender Series guy too against Ramon.
Oh, really? Which
Montel Jackson.
I don't remember.
He didn't get a contract.
That makes sense.
Yes.
He's got nothing to offer, man. I mean, he's got nothing to offer. He's bleeding a lot. He's trying to hit him with the nub.
That sounds so bad.
It looks
now.
It looks like a wrapped sausage at the end.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't want to talk. I'm gonna let's this before we say something we regret.
Yeah.
All right. Newell's not getting the contract. That's the end of the Contender Series. That's the end of our show this week. Enjoy the pay-per-view or here we go, the Fox card, and then next week we break down the pay-per-view. Guys, enjoy it. Have a good night.